Okay, I'm half Czech, half Slovak. Currently, I live in United States at the moment, and historically, I have spent about 15 years of my career, basically my entire working life, I have spent on the trading floor, taking care of institutional clients. And because of the potential conflict of interest, I wasn't allowed to trade any of my money whatsoever. So that was managed for me. And after I retired, about 3.5 years ago, I moved with my pro athlete husband to desert in Arizona, in States. And at that time, I had to retire. Therefore, and I was able to start trading the family trust money. So this is approximately 3.5, 4 years when I started trading my own money. Okay, so we have quite extensive wide family trust. So the family trust has diversified portfolio of real estate. It has collectibles. It has equities, meaning stocks, and small part of that trust I dedicate to actually to commodity futures market. And in theory, within that, I do trade anything what is liquid enough to accommodate my size. So it doesn't really matter. The most 45 liquid futures I would trade. Mm-hmm. I use two main execution platforms. I use CQG, which is institutional platform actually. A lot of investment banks use it for execution. They are the platform of choice for people for CME and other stock exchanges. And at the same time, I use also interactive brokers because some platforms you can do some things, some platforms you can do other things. On broker side, I use my main broker is Straits, and obviously interactive brokers as such. Straits is hooked up to CQG and subsequently to Genesis, which is Trade Navigator, where my all algo systems actually reside. Funny you say that. I attended the trading masterclass in 2017, but I actually considered going already in 2016 because two of my buddies, my trading buddies who I was collaborating with at that time, and we are collaborating actually until today, they did go. And unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to actually go and make it. So once I actually came to Trading Masterclass in 2017, it really, really had a major impact on me. And I think it's for many people like that. For me personally, it was the most important thing or few important things, but one of the most important things I discovered was that Tim, Kevin, Andrea, Michael and Kurt, they're actually human. They are not necessarily Superman or, aliens. So I found out that they are normal guys, and that made it more real to me that I could actually trade not the same like they do, but I could be successful as they are potentially. So it helped me. And secondly, I was actually able to fix my setup, meaning when I went to the trading class, to the master class, my setup didn't allow to actually take two positions in algo which were opposing each other. So let's say taking short and long position in S&P. It was impossible to do from the perspective from my broker. And because I came to the class, I was able to sort it out, and I am capable of doing that. And this was, this is a big issue for a lot of people, and this helped me actually solved a lot of things from setup perspective. So Andrea's courses, I did attend Skilled Academy before I went to the New York Trading Masterclass. Yes, I think so. I think so. That's the name. Yes. So I actually have part of my portfolio, which is algorithmic, the systems, and it was quite useful for me to get deeper in that, even though I am not an IT coding person, as like a specialist. And on top of that, I actually use in my discretionary trading, I sometimes use the algo for testing when I'm testing some ideas. It actually speeds up my analysis, and it gives me a little bit of more kind of like additional layer to tell me that I am on the right path, what I'm trying to say with potentially with those trades. Mm. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, this is exactly. It is not, I'm not using algo like other pure algorithmic traders, but it definitely gave me additional edge. And this is all you need, really. You need additional edge for your trading. Okay. I think I learned new ways to construct and analyze and looking at algo, because everyone is different in terms of systematic trading. Everyone uses the analysis differently. Like I know Kevin in his book, he uses the algorithmic setup and how he constructs systems, how he goes step by step. He does it differently than Andrea. Andrea does it differently. So everyone has his own style. So it's very useful when you learn that, because you can actually come up with additional ideas what you can do, or learn doing it differently, more efficiently sometimes. I got that. I actually did extensive homework before I went to the trading masterclass. This is just who I am. I prefer to know what people are about, because when you are in client business, this is alpha and omega, to know basically what the people are about. So I did homework on Andrea. I did homework on Kevin. I do apologize. I have a dog here with me, so he's a little bit rowdy. And I spoke to my buddies who attended the course the year before, and one of my buddies actually recommended that I do specifically this particular course from Andrea, because I will be fully up to speed with his approach. And this was really helpful. So this was the main reason why I did it. Okay. About 10 to 15% roughly of my trading is algorithmic. It just pays for the monthly bills. It's just trading away. I don't really need to attend to it. And on top of it, as I mentioned before, I really use the algorithmic systems for additional layer for analysis. I would definitely recommend Andrea's courses, any of those, even though I might not have taken all of them. The main reason why I would do that, because Andrea is a real guy, real trader. He's not someone who is from academia, or he's just a guy who goes to expos and tries to sell something. He has a proven track record. He has won the championships several times, repeatedly. So there are so many charlatans in finance where they try to sell you something and they pretend knowing, everything. They have answer to everything. But this is not how Andrea is. Andrea is the real deal. Uh, he has shown that he knows how to use those markets and he actually can be very successful with it. So I think that's the main reason why people should do his course, because he's a trader. Okay. In the 2018 World Cup Championship, I won the championship with 258 return. I also did compete in the 2017 quarter four, the shorter one, the Equity Indices Championship, where I ended up sixth. So I did that one first, and then I went to the annual one. I did start with $10,000. This is the minimum what you can start in trading futures. I think Forex is, I think, 7.5, if I'm not mistaken. And I ended up with 35,800 at the end of the year. So it was mainly discretionary approach. Partially, I use one algorithmic system in the competition. Obviously, I don't know, maybe other people are not, but I was concerned that it's going to bother me and I will not be able to sleep, and I will be nervous. And the main thing, what I was concerned about it doesn't really change how I trade and what I do in the main portfolio, in the trust. And this is the main reason why I did the quarter four, 2017, the shorter one. I wanted to test how I'm going to react, what is it going to do to me, and what is it going to do to my portfolio overall. I found it, I'm very fortunate. I don't really have these issues that I can't sleep if I have too much risk on or other stuff, which on one side, this is good because you don't have nerves and you don't get upset. On the other side, I have to have certain red flags in my systems, in my portfolio set up to tell me when I have too much risk on. So I am quite diligent on monitoring my risk profile, just because I know that I could be too exposed. So because I didn't feel any changes to my trading and to my portfolio as such with the quarter four 2017, I felt comfortable doing the 2018. Yeah, well, because the account is so small, the commissions don't really make any difference in the big picture, at least in my case. But they are, bottom line for me, there are no differences. The reason being because I treated the competition account as an integral part of my overall portfolio, meaning I simply push trades into the competition account, which I would normally do in my main trust, in my main account, and I subtracted that position from my main account portfolio. So I didn't do that particular, let's say if I was supposed to do, I don't know, 20 contracts, I would put part of the contracts, like 3, 4, maybe 5, depending, into competition account. Everything else would be in my main account. So there was no difference. The only difference was that I had to then, execute into accounts.
Okay. Okay.
It was just a small slice of the overall cake, literally. Well, not really in sense of the championship. I think it was amazing experience in terms of you learn to deal with things you would never encounter in your normal trading life. And I found it very useful because it made me grow a lot. The only thing what I would probably do differently is attend the trading masterclass the year earlier, because it would save me a life, 1 year of my life. I think that's the only thing. So before I went to New York, before I went to trading masterclass, I never even considered participation in the championship. I just simply didn't think this is even possible for me to do that, to master that, or being able to be successful. And I have to admit, unless I think that I have a chance to be really, in the top, it didn't make sense to me to even contemplate attending. It was just additional work, which I didn't want to do. The participation was actually one of the conditions of Michael Cook, collaboration. So he said, if he's going to collaborate with me, one of the conditions was that I have to participate in the championship the next year. So it's all his fault that I actually participated and that I won. I think what is, at least this was very important to me, because I had to get through that journey, and it took a while for me. People need to spend time on figuring out what they are about, meaning, are they intraday trader? Are they medium-term trader? Are they a long-term trader? Is it more easier for them to trade based on technical indicators? Is it more easier for them to be fully algorithmic traders because this is what they are about, this is what they are talented to do? Or are they more prone to make decisions on their trading based on, economy or whatever they are about? Once people figure that out, then you need to go out and find the best person in that particular trading style, and then learn from them what the trading is about. Because if you are an algo trader and you go and learn trading from someone who is a long-term, trader who trades economy and these type of things, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to like it. You're going to be feeling pushed into it. It's not going to be you. So just figure out who you are and find someone who is really, really good in that, and then learn from this person. Maybe people should be basic, meaning not trying to overdo it. Like, some people, they think the more screens they buy, the more better they get in trading. It's not true. I have very basic setup, and I don't need 10 screens to make it happen to trade. It actually means if you have too many brokers, too many systems, it actually means that maybe you are doing something wrong, because maybe your setup is not correct. Your setup should be very easy and very fast. It should be very convenient. And probably the second thing I would recommend to people is, don't do it by yourself. Go out, find people to talk to collaborate with. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I can show them my ideas, I can't share. Well, I don't believe that there are people who invent something what hasn't been already considered or invented. So literally, if you don't collaborate, you are limiting yourself, because when you collaborate with more people, you can do more work at the same time. You can divide the analysis between each other, and you actually can see a different angle. So, for example, I was collaborating from 2014. I was collaborating for over 2 years with another 3 people based on teachings of one of the very successful traders. And we were analyzing the same ideas, the same approach for almost 3 years. And at the end of the day, when we were then taking trades, it was shocking to all of us that we basically were taking trades in different commodities and in different timing. So the fact that you work with someone doesn't really mean that you are going to be doing the same trade at the end. But it's going to speed up your life. It's going to speed up the analysis, and you're going to be faster in that. This is really important because you don't want to come up with something 10 years later. You want to do it now. You want to make money now. So I think this is probably what I would give people as an advice, because a lot of people think they shouldn't be talking about their ideas to other people.